Hi YouTube, you might have seen my other video where I sort of rushed through my fossil cabinet, and so all of these fossils are in that other video already, but because I sort of rushed through it, it gave people an idea of roughly what was in there, but nothing was kind of labelled or anything. So I've gone through and I've photographed everything and labelled it all up so you can see, what the specimens are and where they've come from. But like I say, this is just my general collection that I have on permanent display in a cabinet. Lots of my other fossils are kind of in drawers and things, and they'll be from various kind of locations in the UK. So if you want to see any kind of specific locations, there are loads more fossils, but they're from places like Bracklesham Bay, Barton-on-Sea, Abbey Wood, Lyme Regis, Charmouth, this kind of thing. So yeah, have a look at those other videos, and then you can see, like all my sort of shark's teeth and ray teeth and all that kind of thing. But hopefully, yeah, this will give you an idea if you've got a fossil collection of your own, and maybe there's something that you need to identify. Maybe I'll have one here, and it might help you identify what yours is. My main aim with this particular collection was just to get like as many kind of different organisms from around the world, to give like the sort of widest range of kind of fossil types that can be found, really, and just try and get nice examples of each kind of thing. And I know I still have like a lot of things to get in the future, but it's just an ongoing collection, and I'll add to it very gradually. As a good example, I'd like to get like a really decent fish specimen fossil, because at the moment I've only got two little kind of piddly ones that are a bit rubbish. So just things like that. I'll just gradually add to it. Obviously, I would love to be able to just find all of my fossils, but when you're trying to get a collection together like this, you obviously do have to buy some as well. Um, so, as an example, like I found quite a few ichthyosaur vertebrae at Lyme Regis and Charmouth, and they're really nice. And obviously, I'd love to find a complete ichthyosaur, but it's quite unlikely. So, you'll see at the start of this video, I've got like an ichthyosaur replica, complete skeleton, because I think that I'll never find a whole one, and certainly not one as good as that. So I bought one, and that's just quite nice to have that as an example. Fossils that I've bought, I tend to buy a lot of fossils on eBay. That's really good because then you can scan through and you can choose out of a large range of fossils. I obviously buy some from fossil shops occasionally. I bought quite a few in Australia from Australian fossil shops. And I also go to shows occasionally. So a really good one that I go to quite regularly is at Kempton Park Racecourse. They have like some amazing fossils there, again from all around the world. And if you go with no sort of specific fossils in mind, and just see what they've got and just choose like the best specimens of whatever you happen to find on the day, it's a really good way of doing it. So I'll usually go like a couple of times a year, and just take a little bit of pocket money and buy a couple of specimens. And over the years, it all has just gradually built up. Don't always think that really good fossil specimens are expensive, because quite often, in the sort of natural location, if they're really abundant, you can pick up fossils actually quite cheaply. Um, there are some that are more expensive, and it might just be that you pick out a few kind of select fossils as your main ones for your collection and spend a bit more money on those, and then just try and get bargains for all the kind of smaller things. And like I say, just try and find somebody who's selling a lot of them because they found a lot, and then you'll get them a lot cheaper. Because quite a lot of fossils that I collect I actually find in the UK. If I go on a day's fossil hunting, and if I find loads of stuff, then I'm happy. I come home and you know everything's good. But occasionally I'll go out and I'll spend a whole day looking for fossils, and I'll come back with like just a few little things, and it'll be really upsetting. And then on days like that, I quite like to nip onto eBay and just buy like a £10 fossil or something, and then when it comes through the post, I'm like, yay! And it sort of cheers me up. And that's another good way of doing it. If you're having a bad fossil hunting day, just buy a specimen to cheer yourself up. And collecting fossils as well is a really good fun hobby to have, and going out and searching for them. You just learn about a lot of other things at the same time. Like you learn about geology generally. You learn about minerals because you'll be finding minerals at the same time that you're finding the fossils, and you quite often want to identify what those are. And obviously, you learn about all the different kind of animal types that used to exist, and some of them exist, through to the present day. And for me, there's nothing more satisfying than sort of identifying a fossil that you've just found with a sort of an exact scientific name and everything, and being able to label it all up. Okay, thanks for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please check out my other videos, especially the ones on fossils from around the UK. Because like I say, there's some really good fossils in there. And if you're thinking about going on a trip to look for fossils yourself, it might kind of inspire you to go to one of the locations where I go looking for fossils. Um, and yeah, hit subscribe if you want to see anything that I post up in the future, because I plan to put up lots of similar videos.